It's good to see you alive and well. Word has already spread about your daring exploits within the Crystal Tower. It's still a little hard to believe, truth be told. Of course, there's so much left to do. I already have a list as long as my arm. That doesn't sound good. Is there another crisis I have yet to be informed about? I'd almost rather deal with another crisis than try to convince the Sapiarchs. Still, it will be done. I'll even make sure to invite the Proxy Queen. Her palace should make for a suitable meeting place. Neutral ground and all that. Sotha Seal's in his study, preparing to depart. He never seems to stick around for very long. I suggest you hurry if you want to catch him. I'll meet you in front of the Proxy Queen's palace in Alinor. Meet me there after you talk to Sotha Seal.
Here you are again. I thought such an... The time has come for my departure. I've always felt a sense of peace in Artaeum, but also discomfort. A consistent dilemma within me, which seems to have only grown. I'll be glad to get back to the Clockwork City. There's much to do. While you confronted Nocturnal, I worked within the shadow of your efforts. Negotiations with both Clavicus Vile and Mafala were held, and a compromise was decided upon. The two have agreed to a compact, an end to their direct meddling. Knowing the nature of Daedra, I doubt that shall be the case. However, any direct interference within Nirn should cease, while the terms are met, of course. As for Nocturnal, it seems she's returned to the shadows. Perhaps. She likely contemplates her next course of action even now, given such a defeat. It may be centuries before she makes another attempt. Then again, could be days. Such is the chaotic nature of the Daedric princes. I must decline. Valserin may see me as an ally, but to Somerset, I am a foreign interloper. An enemy of the state. My participation would not be welcome. The need for my presence has come to an end, and so I must depart. And so the gears turn once more, ever changing, yet ever the same. With you always in the center, it seems. I take no pleasure in such distractions from my work. Still, I would not decline if we spoke again.
I have said. The Proxy Queen is unable to hold an audience with petitioners at this time. There are
Must
other
be.
affairs that
There
require
must
her
be
attention.
something important going on to bring them.
Finally, you arrived. We were able to gather everyone together, but they've already started the meeting. Valcerin tried to make them wait, but the Sapiarchs demanded to know what was happening. To be honest, not great. Even the Proxy Queen is hesitant to accept our request. As always, everyone's so worried about proper High Elf decorum that they refuse to see reason. I'm just not sure how we're going to win this one. Everyone's gathered in the council chamber. You should go inside.
You can't make such demands. The Sapiarchs are the keepers of the Crystal Tower.
This is about more than the College of Sapiarchs, Lanatil.
If Raz could intervene, perhaps we should hear from our newly arrived friend.
We concur with Razumdar. Let us hear what the adventurer has to say.
The Sapiarchs recognize your bravery on our behalf in Lalandril and within the Crystal Tower, but there is nothing you can say that will alter our thinking on this matter. So Valcerin claims. If this is true, the College shall institute new measures to protect the tower. That is well within our capabilities. The Psijic Order is responsible for all that has happened. Why should I trust them now? And that's supposed to convince me that the very leader of the Psijic Order was compromised in such a manner. We Sapiarchs have protected the tower for centuries without incident. Why should I trust the Psijics now? Be that as it may, the Sapiarchs will continue to do as we always have. We shall protect the Crystal Tower. Entrusting that responsibility to anyone else is just far too dangerous a risk to take. That's your opinion. You are a newcomer. I have no reason to believe that you have Somerset's best interests in mind. For all I know, you and the Psijic Order wish to use the Crystal Tower for your own purposes.
Our friend has proven their mettle time and time again. Raz thinks you should hear about these deeds. Oriandra, admit our guests now, yes?
What are you up to, Razumdar?
I will vouch for this adventurer. While I was blinded by prejudice and hate, their actions saved Shimmerine.
Sapiarch, you know me. My son rejected the Queen's decree and suffered the consequences. This newcomer saved Relenthil.
Finally, Raz must add his voice to the chorus. No one has served our queen and our island as well as this adventurer, not even Raz.
We have heard enough. We accept that the adventurer is trustworthy. Sapiarch Lanatil, listen to what they have to say.
I apologize for my assumptions. It's clear you've done much good for Somerset and its people. The protection of the Crystal Tower has been the Sapiarch's duty for time immemorial. To change that now feels like we've failed. I can't deny the truth of your words. Very well. Henceforth, the Sapiarchs will accept outside aid in order to best protect the Crystal Tower. I'll begin preparations immediately. However, I still refuse to allow the Psijic Order to participate. I promise we will work with the Proxy Queen to make sure the Crystal Tower remains safe. I'll begin preparations immediately. We'll even allow the Divine Prosecution and the Mages Guild to participate in these efforts.
Raz is sure there are many more details to work out, but for now, this one just wants a very strong drink.
If you would wait a moment, my friend, I'd like to talk privately. Thank you for helping me win this last battle. While the Psijic Order will not be among those protecting the Crystal Tower, we will continue to observe from afar. And now, it's time for us to depart Somerset. We never meant to take such a direct role in events. We're observers, watchers. We lend a hand, guide fate, but never directly shape it. Besides, I need to return to Artaeum and take up the mantle of Rite Master, at least for a little while. On an interim basis until we get beyond this crisis and can make a decision for the future. In the meantime, I want to atone for what the Rite Master and Lathan did. I owe Somerset that much, at least. You're attuned to Artaeum and have a connection to the Psijic Order now. The portal will always be open for you, and you'll always be welcome on our hidden island.
Razumdar, remove your furry seat from our throne.
After all Raz has done for Queen and country, you would deny him this small comfort?
Why Cousin Irene tolerates you, we'll never understand.
Raz could get used to such a seat. Metaphorically speaking, of course. This one would prefer a throne with far more padding. But enough of such talk. Today we celebrate your victory. From newcomer to savior of Somerset. Quite the feat, yes? Raz thought of many different plans once he heard of this meeting. He is glad the first turned out so well. His other plans, well, there is no need to dwell on such unsavory details. This one never doubted you could do it, Fiveclaw. Actually, Raz may have doubted you a few times. Or many times. But he apologizes for that. After all, you have now proven yourself most capable. And of course, no heroic deed is complete without a reward. Raz did indeed. On behalf of Queen Irene, this is for you. Ironic how Somerset was saved by one of the newcomers it so distrusts. This is a good lesson. Enjoy yourself, my friend. Raz certainly plans to.
Our throne, Razumdar. We would have it back now.
So tense, your majesty. Must be this uncomfortable throne. Perhaps Raz could suggest a most comfortable cushion upon which you could sit.
Such a cushion is much too lumpy for our tastes, Cat.
So, this book just magically appeared in front of you?
I know what I saw. I was upstairs watching the ceremony, and I turn around for but a moment, and then this book just suddenly appears.
Look, the palace is magically sealed by some of the finest mages in Somerset. There's no way someone just teleported a book in here.
Maybe it's a cursed relic then? I didn't touch it. It's still on the seat upstairs. Maybe we should ask the Sapiarchs to look at it?
Good to see you aren't raising bugs with Ysmir just yet.
We saw the storm break, but
I regret we didn't throw a parade to welcome you back. But I'll cheer enough for 100 souls if you tell me you put that backbiter of a High King to the sword. But what of Svanna? Is she? That's good. But a daughter shouldn't have to kill her own father. Svanna has my support, for whatever that's worth. She's going to need all the help she can get in the days to come. Not until we hold a moot to support her claim, and we need more than a single Jarl for that to occur. If Svanna proves herself as the acting Jarl, they might look past her father's failings and make her the queen. Eventually. We can settle the matter of the crown when there's kingdom enough to rule. What remains of the holds are still ravaged by the Harrow storms, and I doubt we've seen the last of the Grey Host, for that matter. None good, but none bad either. My wife knows better than anyone how to care for our people. I trust she and my Thane to protect and care for Morthal in my absence.
We seem to have survived, thank the gods. I thought for certain we were all about to witness the end of the world. No thanks to Svargrim, damn his eyes. After you and the princess went off to Blackreach, I gathered whoever we could, and made our stand here in the Hall of the Dead. I'm just glad we don't have to be permanent residents. Far fewer than I feared when the storm began. Thanks to you and the princess. With the storm over and the Grey Host driven from Castle Dour, my soldiers will get the city back into shape. As long as no one else attacks us in the meantime.
They're here! They're at the gates!
The Grey Host? I thought we were done with them for now.
Not the Grey Host! The Skald King with an army from the east!
What treachery is this?
To the gates. We'll give the Skald King a proper welcome, one way or another.
Keep it down. You'll wake the dead.
Stand down, you idiots! We come in peace.
Partner, could really use your knack for diplomacy right now. Speak to the Skald King before we start a war.
Sure, save me from fools and prophets. Will no one properly greet a weary traveler? You don't look like one of these Western milk drinkers. Tell them we're not a damn invasion, we're here to help. Maybe you can tell me what's going on. So the rumors are true? Svargrim joined the Grey Host? I knew he had ambitions, but to throw away his humanity like that, it's inconceivable. Svargrim once told me that he would die before welcoming me to Solitude. I suppose he was right. That's why I sent Lyris here in the first place. I'm not the king of these holds, though. I can't do anything if they refuse my help. Svargrim despised me. He would never accept my aid. But Svanna... here she comes now. Let's see what she has to say.
We have no need of help that involves welcoming your soldiers within our walls.
My walls, Jarl. My father may have been willing to slap aside a helping hand, but I'm not. Permit me a word with your envoy, Skald King. Thank you. For holding the line, I mean. I'm ready to do what I should have done a long time ago. To do what my father never could. I'll speak with the Skald King. There's one more thing I'd like you to do while I entertain our guests. We saved Solitude, but our war with the Grey Host is far from over. We need Fenn's elixir more than ever. With that, and King Yoren's help, we might just push these monsters back into their grave for good. That depends on Fenn. If there's anything standing in his way, let me know, and I'll do everything in my power to get him what he needs. Fen is with old Mjolnir at the Mages Guild. When you're finished with him, join me in the courtyard of the Blue Palace. I'm going to hold a moment of remembrance for this city. We all need a moment to mourn what we lost. I'm going to invite the Skald King to join us. If the people of Solitude see him bow his head along with the rest of us, they may not care about the divide between the East and the West.
What is it?
I need someone who isn't afraid of
You should speak with the Skald.
much of anything for that matter.
If you haven't already seen.
Have you read them?
My last magic ring
I sell the best.
Ingenious. A rare thing to find an elf with the makings of a clever woman.
Despite what my kin might proclaim, it's not all in the blood. Ah, good, you're here. We've made a breakthrough.
Yes.
I was just discussing a theory with Mjolnir, and it seems like we're very close to turning this elixir into a true restorative. A cure. Singolis's research on the Netherroot showed me just how it weakens the connection between a body and soul. Thus far, I've been able to inure a person to the root, but now I'm certain I can use that knowledge to heal those weakened bonds. Well, it is just a theory at this point. There's a lot more testing and experimentation to be done before we can produce a viable antidote. Weeks, optimistically? I know. We can't simply put things on hold. Mjolnir and I have a batch brewing right now, and materials to keep producing for another day. Ingerd's promised us a steady supply of Arcase oil, but that's not our limiting factor. We know enough about Singolis' refinement processes to replicate his methods, but we still need a source of netherroot to do so. Tell Svanna that if she can keep us supplied, we can produce enough elixir for all the holds in a matter of weeks. We can ransack Greyhost stockpiles, or mount an expedition into Blackreach. Otherwise, it would take decades of work to produce a proper crop. After we get the elixir squared away, we'll turn our attention to curing the Herald. Indeed. As I surmised, the Grey Reliquaries contained the remains of ancient Greyhost warriors. They served as a connection to the souls trapped in Cold Harbor. Using the energy from the Harrowstorms, the souls were pulled into the stone husks. I believe the stone husks are incubators of a sort. The physical forms of the Grey Host are reincorporated within the stone vessels, through a mix of Singolis' alchemy and sorcery, and the magic of the Icereach witches. When whole, they burst free.
Says it's the only love he ever gets.
I was hoping you'd return before we began. Tell me you've got good news. I'll feel a lot better delivering a speech about healing and hope, knowing that we're on the road to recovery. What did Fen have to say about the elixir? Not the best news, but I'll take it. So long as we have enough to protect our soldiers, we have a fighting chance against the Grey Host. I'll go to the Undergrove myself, if that's what it takes. Now that would be cause for celebration. If he can really bring back even a fraction of those we lost to the Harrowstorms, I'm willing to try. That's all I needed to hear. We should begin the ceremony before the crowd grows more restless. Nothing fancy, just a traditional Nord wake. To mourn and celebrate those we've lost, and cherish the lives we still have. I'd like you to join us. None of us would be here to sing dirges for the dead or celebrate the living if not for you. I certainly wouldn't be here, ready to lead my hold. You've supported me since I started down this path. I'm honored to have you here at the end. Sons and daughters of Skyrim, we have the honor today of remembering the dead.
Honor to the fallen!
Sons and daughters of Skyrim, our trials were fierce, but we are still here.
We stand and we remain!
Now, we raise our voices to tell Sovngarde of the coming of the worthy dead, and to tell the world that the Nords are still here! We are still standing!
The fallen now march home to hallowed hall, to join our ancestors in boundless drink and song and brawls. Let sound the horns, let peal the bells, let loose the ancient hymn. We will remain until time ends, we children of Skyrim.
is it? Yeah!
My soul.
I'm worried about myself.
I started.
Narzer.
Been talking about hunting mammoths with...
The guild requests your help. Comrade, I have an urgent message for you. Guildmaster Sees All Colors would like to see you as soon as possible. She said the journal has revealed something about the Vivicis, whatever that is. She awaits you at the guild hall. You can find her in the hall in Mournhold, comrade. May the Eight protect you. No idea. Word around the hall is that she's been working day and night on some mysterious project. I've even seen some Mages Guild scribes wandering around the place. Strange.
Earthbane meld will go on as planned. You cannot stop it. Nothing you can do will end this.
May luck follow you.
Steed and thief, where are they? What do you want? Wait, never mind. I don't want to know.
You seen, sister? In the mood for a little trip? I can take you to Vardenfell. Ports of call include Seydenine and Vivec City.
You're awake! Ha! I was worried you'd never wake up. You slept all... You don't remember? A Khajiit named Razumdar fished you out of the ocean. He was headed to Eagle Strand, an old fort on Canarthi's Roost. My ship won't return there for some time, but a bosun on the far dock can take you. Look for a ship.
We depart within the hour. Where are you headed? We can find room, depending... Tell me.
Can you believe it? Dragons in your own homeland. What are you going to do?
This one does not know, but he hopes his family is safe in Riverhope.
Excuse me, is it really at the top? If so, how would one get up there to meet with him?
The topmost one takes you to the king's throne. The climb is worth it, I assure you.
Hold your tongue, High Elf. King Camoran didn't need Queen Irene's help. Never asked for it, in fact.
If Queen Irene hadn't saved your
Search my packs. You will find nothing. This one is innocent. Tell her, Gomani.
This is the one. Hail, comrade. You are a friend of the Queen, yes? Azazi recognizes you from the sketch, though this one thinks it may not do you much justice. Captain Sarendil craves your attention. He awaits you on a lower tier in the city. You must hurry. That's what you will find out when you speak to him. Though I admit, I'm not sure exactly where he is at this very minute. Azazi's paws itch to race into combat. Warriors are not meant to stand around like glorified signposts.
Can you believe it? Dragons in your own homeland. What are you going to do?
This one does not know, but he hopes his family is safe.
All this way and for nothing.
To raise their hand against tyrants, stand and die. Freedom's day.
wait.
Hold. We've observed your travels through Grotwood and have need of your particular talents. Hold. We've observed your travels through Grotwood and have need of your particular talents. Our eyes are everywhere in Grotwood. We've fixed them upon you for some time. We're in need of an outsider, unknown in Cormount. Someone with... I'm privileged to be a Vinedusk Ranger. We report directly to King Camorin Eredon, ruler of the Wood Elves. We protect his rule against all threats, without or within. The Black Sap Rebellion, for one. Though nearly broken at the Dominion's formation, its last remnants plague Cormount.
What is it?
Hold. We've observed your travels through Grotwood and have need of your particular talents. Hold. We've observed your travels through Grotwood and have need of your particular talents.
A moment, please. Excuse me. If I may be so bold, you match the description I was given? I have a message for you, if you're willing to accept it.
More like a summons, really. Comes from Abner Tharn, who once advised Emperor Varen Cyrodiil. He wants to see you in Riverhold in northern Elsewhere. Said it involves the Khajiit Defense Force and a rage of dragons, if you can believe it.
Nandera give me strength.
end the dragon infestation, Chimera.
Ever the voice of reason, Speaker. Ah, here comes someone who can help us now. You must be here about my summons. Good, good. I was just telling Lord Gareshri and Chimera that someone would answer my call. Since you're here, I presume you will wholeheartedly agree to help us save Elsewhere from a rage of dragons? So much better than flock or herd, don't you think? The Khajiit Defense Force isn't prepared to deal with a threat as big as dragons, especially since they were fighting to liberate Rimmon when the huge beasts arrived. Stay focused. We'll deal with that later. Right now, we must assist the Defense Force. Rendezvous with us at their command post. On your way, however, I have another task for you. I detected a series of power surges that I want you to investigate. I was formulating a spell to track the dragons when I noticed several surges of arcane energy not far from here. They reminded me of an old acquaintance. Has a way with portals. If it is him, I want you to secure his help against the dragons. Hard to say with certainty, but I don't believe so. They remind me of Sir Cadwell, who somehow opens portals with a power of similar intensity. Check the locations I marked on your map before you make your way to the defense camp. Lord Gareshri is the Speaker of the Main and the commander of the Northern Elsewhere Defense Force. His aide, Chimera, serves as both a diplomat and a spy, though she would never call herself that. If you want to know more, feel free to ask them.
Another outsider comes to Elsewhere, as if we did not have enough problems between Abnur Tharn and the dragons. Ah, do not mind me. Great beasts rampaging through my homeland tends to put me in a foul mood. I am Chimera. I assist the Speaker of the Main and serve as his agent. With both the usurper queen and the dragons ravaging northern Elsewhere, there is much for me to do. Too much, I fear. But I will persevere. What can I tell you that you cannot guess? That these fearsome creatures of legend have returned to threaten Elsewhere? That much is obvious. Damn it. This is all Abnur Tharn's fault. Dark Moons, take him! That arrogant Imperial! For an advisor to emperors and a renowned battle mage, he demonstrates a disturbing lack of caution. It was Abnur Tharn who entered the halls of Colossus and released the dragons. He says that was not his intention, but... what do my beliefs matter? Dragons have come to Elsewhere, destroying everything I hold dear. As the Moon Singers say, the path to oblivion is paved in good intentions. So, damn Abnur Tharn. Damn him for unleashing this terror upon us.
You're responding to Abnur Tharn's letter. One of the promising adventurers. I hope you can help us. But where are my manners? Welcome to Riverhold and the province of Northern Elsewhere, also known as Anequina. I am the Speaker of the Main. A position in which I've served faithfully for many years. I represent our spiritual leader, the Main. In addition, I command the Northern Elsewhere Defense Force during this time of trouble. We're dealing with more than just dragons, unfortunately. A few years ago, Abnur Tharn's half-sister, Euraxia, conquered Rimmon and parts of northern Elsewhere. We recently liberated Riverhold and were about to do the same for Rimmon when the dragons appeared. It's almost as if they came to her aid. Do what Abnur Tharn asked. Just as he once served as advisor to emperors, he has agreed to help me formulate strategies and tactics for use against the dragons. It is the least he can do, since he had a hand in setting the horrid beasts loose.
Greetings, Walker. Have you a moment to speak?
No, Azazi. Never touch a Daedric monster, especially a dead one.
Don't be such a nervous netch. The dead can't hurt us.
Stinks of Cold Harbor. Perhaps one of the Usurper Queen's lackeys summoned it, yes?
Don't touch the dead thing, Theduna tells me. Like I don't know how to handle a Daedric corpse. I wonder what killed it, though. Maybe it ran afoul of a dragon.
I saw you, traveler. Why do all outsiders insist on acting suspiciously? I watched you go from location to location, just like the man with the pot on his head. Are you one of the soldiers intent on digging up every plot of land? Or are you simply a deviant who enjoys skulking and slinking through the wilderness? Do not play innocent with me, stranger. You must be working with that pale, gaunt fool with the ridiculous mustache. Why else would you be visiting the same places that he did? Unless... Are you an agent of the Usurper Queen? Euraxia, the hated Imperial who conquered Rimmon and falsely claimed to be its queen. Do not feign ignorance, outsider. I had just about enough of that when I talked to the man with the pot on his head.
You sound as confused as he was. Kept talking to his pet lizard bird like he expected it to answer. The last I saw, he headed east. I suppose you'll find him in that direction, and south of Riverhold. Just stop skulking around.
Uncanny. It looks just like that lovely place I dreamed of. Must be why my portals led me here. Eventually. Ah, hello there. Good to see you again, old chum. Have you come to pay your respects too? It was the strangest thing. I dreamed I was looking at this very gravestone, so here I came, and there it is, all solid and everything. Important? I have no idea. I suppose it must be. I saw it in a dream after all. Or was it a vision? I get those two confused. Anyway, I felt a sort of pull and stepped through a door, and then pish-posh, honours a man's mgwa, and here I am. Tharn, you say, the grumpy battle mage. How is the old boy? The surges were probably just me. My portal took a few tries before we honed in on this exact location. Now, why don't you take a look at the gravestone and see what you make of it? Well, it took a few tries to find the exact spot I saw in my dream. A number of frightfully rude lads and lasses occupied the first location I visited, demanded my surrender, if you can imagine such a thing. Naturally, I gave them the old heave-ho. Foul smelling, I'll have you know, that was my lunch. Can't believe I lost it. And if by Bantam Gua you mean my faithful steed, Honor, well, he's always getting into my foodstuffs. Has the appetite of a mammoth and the cunning of a fox, that one. Dispatch? Why would I do such a terrible thing? I adore those adorable pudge buckets. Alas, Grook was standing a little too close when I opened my portal. Poor thing fell in and took a nasty spill. When the neck bone snaps, it makes an awful sound. Were the words the same for you? Sometimes written language likes to confuse me. Words change and switch places. Very annoying. Anyway, the gravestone mentions the betrayer. Sounds like a dastardly chap. Wonder if I ever met him. I don't have the slightest idea. The words inscribed upon it conjure up all kinds of questions, though. Who is this betrayer? Whom did he betray? Why did they bury only his head? And where did they put the rest of the poor fellow? I don't have a clue. Dragons? I haven't battled a dragon since... You know, I can't remember, but I'm certain I fought one or two in my day. I was a gallant knight, after all. Of course I'll help. I'll just need to do a little more digging into this dream thing first. Did you hear that, my trusty shovel? Dragons and mysterious rays. It's just like old times.
Get down. I'll deal with this. Oh, now you show up. Left me to deal with a dragon all by myself. It's a good thing I'm Abner Tharn and not, well, some lesser mage. I discouraged it, but not before it laid waste to most of the camp. We arrived to find the outpost being overrun by undead, then the dragon attacked. I did what I could. I fear it wasn't enough. What about the power surges? Did you learn anything? The betrayer? There's a betrayer mentioned in the legends of Kunzari. It seems those stories continue to hound me. No matter. We can deal with that later. Right now, I want to know about Cadwell. Has he agreed to lend us his support? That doesn't surprise me. Cadwell and Strange go together like hot bread and butter. I need to recover my strength. Driving off that dragon took a lot out of me. Why don't you go help Chimera while I keep watch in case the great beast returns? Kunzari, hero of the Merethic era. Most of the legends are unbelievable, though the Khajiiti moon singers guard the secret history. Their tales led me to the halls of Colossus. But let's save this for a less dangerous time. Tell me.
Damn us for arriving too late. I did not expect to find our militia under assault by a horde of undead. And then the dragon. Oh, it tangles the tail, Vokar, it truly does. The militia was already depleted from the fight to liberate Riverhold, but we were determined to press on toward Rimen. Between the undead and the dragon, though, we can barely hold this portion of the outpost. Retreat is not an option. Not yet. Our resistance to Euraxia's rule requires more than just soldiers. There are intelligence reports, safe house locations, lists of supporters, documents we cannot afford to lose. Search the ruined camp and locate the documents, Walker. They are vital to our efforts to free Rimen from Euraxia's rule, and if her forces acquire them, those who help us will be exposed. Recover the documents from mail sacks in the camp and get them to Captain Nalado. Then meet us to the south.
If you're so fascinated by the dead, why don't you join them? This one doesn't know you, but at least you aren't a walking corpse. This one must ask, why are you here? Bright moons! This one thought these were lost forever. You saved many lives at great risk to your own walker. You have Nalado's respect. This one will guard these documents with her life. That was one of Euroxia, the Usurper Queen's pet necromancer. His undead devastated our troops, so this one took pleasure in ending his existence. Now, Nalado must return to Riverhold and consult with Garashri. We must find a way to go on. Euroxia's chief necromancer, Zumag Fum, has been with her for some time, but our intelligence suggests his followers have only recently rallied to her side. Find Abnortharn and Carmira. Tell them to meet us in Riverhold.
I've spotted dragons circling in the distance from time to time, but it doesn't look like the winged monster that attacked the camp will return today. Was your hunt successful? Did you recover the documents that Chimera sought? I must join them there. The Khajiiti forces have been decimated by this attack. It will take every strategy I can devise to help Garesh-Ri prevent the collapse of his militia. The appearance of so many undead, though, that concerns me. Yes, I read the reports. Zumog Fum and his necromancers working for my despicable half-sister. Such magic leaves behind a miasma of stench and decay. It leads to the mountains to the west, but I can't pinpoint an exact location. Good idea. Dragons are bad enough, but undead tend to go on without end. Better to deal with them now, before Euraxia's power becomes more than we can contain. In such a direct manner? Yes, as far as we know. It could have been coincidence, but the attack felt designed to hit us when it would do the most damage. I wanted to send Chimera with you to find the source, but I have no idea where she's gone. Find the source of this army of undead, and if you see Chimera, send her back to Riverhold. She's as reckless as she is capable, which is a dangerous combination. I'll make my way back as well. After all, Garesh-Ri would be lost without me. In case you haven't noticed, we two don't always see eye to eye. She can be impetuous and obstinate, truth be told. Chimera gathered a handful of soldiers and took off to the west. If you run into her, send her back to Riverhold.
Watch your step in the stitches.
I did not expect to see you in this desolate place, Walker. Did Captain Nalado send you? Or have you come to join us as we hunt the dragon that killed so many of our warriors? Then our missions coincide. We can work together to destroy the undead and slay the dragon. It will be glorious. When we finish with the hunting and the slaying, we can report our success to Lord Gareshri. I do not take orders from that old battle mage. Besides, the blood of Khajiiti warriors cries for vengeance. To disregard that cry, that is not a shame I can bear. No, I must do this. I must strike back and show my people that hope survives. The worthy life is full of risk, Walker. I assumed you knew that, given what you do. I will tell you a secret, though. Before my parents died, they gave me a pendant. As long as I wear it, Jode watches over me and provides his protection. To Jode, yes, but also to my family and heritage. I suppose you could call it an heirloom. It helps me in my role as agent for Lord Gareshri, and that is all I will say about it. Now, let us go inside and find the necromancer and the dragon.